Hello techies. Welcome to our brand new video series focused on helping you get the most of your experiences in life. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms.
So let's search for it. I think it was 2002. So, Chris, is this an example of bottom top? Yes. Correct. Yes, but you see that still the top has to exist. Yes, the software is this. So maybe you created them one after the other without creating a subordinate relationship. So you create your individual supervisory organizations. And then, after you create all of them, then maybe you want to. Yeah, you can place them as per the hierarchical structure. So then you can assign a superior. So you can say, superior assigned. Superior organization assigned. The bit. Okay. So it is. It says it has now been a little bit more completed the process. If I go to the XYZ Motors sales organization now, you would see that it has already assigned a superior organization that is XYZ Motors Executive. And the top level organization is XYZ Motors. So now, if I want to look at the hierarchy of XYZ Motors, I will go to the related actions. You see I want to see the hierarchy structure of XYZ Motors. I will go to the related actions of XYZ Motors. Supervisory organization. I would just and then I will scroll down and navigate hierarchy. Let's see what we have here. So 1001 XYZ Motors, then 1002 XYZ Motors Executive. Previously we had only once a body rate. Now let's see what has happened. I will click on the drill down. And we have two subordinates. XYZ Motors Manufacturing. XYZ Motors Sales. Correct. So our organization structure looks correct, right? As per what we did yesterday. So this is our organization structure. Here, we did two things. First days, we created the top-level organization, and then we created subordinates. Right? We created the first subordinates. That is XYZ Motors Executive. Then from XYZ Motors Executive we created one more subordinal, that is XYZ Motors Manufacturing. And then we had three organizations in the structure. And then, how did we do the XYZ Motors Sales? We created that as a standalone. And then we included that as part of the hierarchy by assigning a superior. Okay. That's how we did. Now this is. I just showed you two different ways of creating the organization structure. One is, we create top-down. And another one, I showed you is how to include an organization into an existing hierarchy. You can choose either of the approaches. You can use a mix of these approaches as well. Perfectly fine, whichever is more convenient, whichever is more suitable for the task that you are doing. If there is an existing organization, you just want to create a subordinate. You know what, go to related actions. Reorganization creates a body. Net right easy. You have to fill up less things right, because a lot of the options, a lot of the parameters are inherited from the superior organization anyway. Right, it's much more easier, rather than creating a supervisory organization using the task. Now, what is the task? To create a supervisory organization? Create a supervisory organization. Create a supervisory organization. Create a supervisory organization or yeah, create superwheel will also work. Now remember there is a space between sup and org. So do not just type it together, because then it will not work. So when you say create superorg CS, that is fine, but remember there is a space between sup and org. So it is two different words. Alright. Yes. Questions? I know one. I know we are going to learn this in future classes, but just to understand. For each organization that we just created or for each subordinate, we have given different primary locations. Well, that affect in any ways? No. Oh, it doesn't depend. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And also you will see that when we hire workers, when we will go, maybe mid of next week or maybe in the beginning of next week, we'll start hiring some workers. Even when we hire workers, for each of the workers, we have to specify their own location. The location at the workers are getting hired. This primary location will not play any role in the hiring of workers. This is just a placeholder. It's kind of illogical. Like a data which shows where is this particular department or organization located. Logical home of the organization. That's it. Typically use it as a location of the manager, right? Typically unless there is this physical presence. Like okay. Our. Let's say the Workday department is in good job. Okay, so if that is the case, then whenever we create the Workday department, they will select the location as good job, because maybe most of our people are there. Right. So maybe we can say that, yeah, that's not a location. I mean in traditional offices, right? So you have a location of that department. And then you have the signage saying that, yeah, sales department. Maybe at the entry you see a huge signboard saying that particular department. Remember college? When we went to colleges and outside departments, they had this big sign. Is saying that okay? In computer science department, history department, geography department, something like that. Right. So that is a physical location of that particular department, right? So that makes sense. But nowadays, with distributed offices and global companies, it is difficult to envisage like such a situation. Because we say, yeah, well, I am in the Workday department and I am in Bangalore. And let's say you are in the same department, but you are in New York. Right. So how does the location matter? But typically still, we would still like to have a logical home of the department. If you don't have a physical location, enter the location of the manager. But apart from that, it doesn't play any other any other role. Sure. Appreciate it. Thank you. I wasn't extracting any reports. If you're examining your how many employees are there to kind of report also, does that work? You see, when you hire a worker, you specify the location for the worker. So if you are, then if you're creating your reports, and if you are creating a report based on the location, you take it from the worker's location, not the supervisor, your organization's location. That's what I mean. Yeah, because what each worker will have their own location. Right. And now we have one question. Yeah, now it's a month again. So in this COVID times, most of the people are working remotely. So now, even new hirings happen with remote locations. So now a lot of organizations have started creating locations.
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us at sales@uptalk.com.